Alright, imagine this. Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze are like matter and antimatter. Put them in the same room? Boom, instant wormhole. Power grid resets. The USS Enterprise launches out of a 7-Eleven parking lot. We get free internet forever, and every vape turns into a lightsaber. That's basically the energy of Point Break. But here's the mind bang. James Cameron's Avatar? Yeah, it's just Point Break in space. And here's the kicker. Cameron was a producer and uncredited rewriter on Point Break. That's right, man had his hands on both. Like he saw the blueprint for soul-searching, identity-shattering, surf bro drama and thought, what if this, but with blue aliens and mech suits? I'm not saying they're similar. I'm saying they are the same movie wearing different pants. One's barefoot in Malibu, the other's got a space ponytail and Bluetooth-enabled loincloth. So let's break it down, 2025 style. You got a dude, right? Government type. Johnny Utah in Point Break, Jake Sully in Avatar. Both start off on a mission. Both are ex-somethings. Ex-football player, ex-marine. Classic, I used to have knees and a future setup. They get sent into enemy territory to infiltrate the weirdos. In Point Break, it's surfers who rob banks and quote roomie while base jumping. In Avatar, it's 9-foot blue cat people who live in trees and connect their hair to horses. Science fiction? Sure, but also, same vibe. These weirdos are chill, in touch with nature, and not super into capitalism. So obviously the guys fall in love with the whole lifestyle. Also, there's a love story. Of course there's a love story. In Point Break, Johnny doesn't just fall in with the crew, he falls in love with Bodhi. And not even subtly. The whole movie is about their magnetic, borderline religious connection. Tyler? Sure, she's around, but Bodhi's the one Johnny's chasing through the sky and letting go into the sea. Bodhi is the obsession, the transformation, the heartbreak. In Avatar, it's Neytiri. She starts out thinking Jake's an idiot. But she sees something in him. Some spirit, some spark, and teaches him how to not immediately die in the forest. She's the guide, the anchor, the queen. Both Bodhi and Neytiri lead the protagonists into a new world. They become the bridge between who they were and who they're becoming. At a certain point, the guy starts questioning everything. Like, wait, am I the bad guy? Spoiler, yeah. But now he's spiritually evolved enough to feel bad about it. Growth. And right when he's most confused, here comes the charismatic leader. Point Break has Bodhi, the Zen bank robber, who talks about riding the ultimate wave like it's a religious experience. Avatar's got Iwa, the actual sentient planet that glows when you pray into the roots. Honestly, Bodhi might be Iwa. They both speak in riddles, they both hate the government, and they both get real dramatic about wind. Anyway, our dude fully drinks the Kool-Aid. He turns his back on the people who sent him. In Point Break, Johnny lets Bodhi go surf into a death wave instead of arresting him. Just lets him go out with style. In Avatar, Jake literally turns against the military and helps the Na'vi fight back in a war so big it probably made the trees cry. Both dudes ditch their old lives. Johnny throws away his badge. Jake uploads his soul into a giant blue USB stick and never looks back. That's commitment. That's not just quitting your job. That's changing species. And what does it cost? Everything. Careers, identities, insurance coverage, the whole deal. You know it's real when a guy gives up his 401k for forest magic or a sweet wave. The emotional arc is identical. Mission starts off with orders, ends with enlightenment. Somewhere along the way, our guy figures out that the so-called enemy is actually living better than he ever was. They're off the grid. They're connected to nature. They believe in something. And he wants in. Point Break walked so Avatar could fly a dragon through floating mountains while dual-wielding alien spears. Same story, different surfboard. I mean, swap out the ex-president's masks for bioluminescent war paint, and you've basically got the same Thursday night. You can't unsee it. And look, maybe Cameron just watched Point Break one night, looked at his lava lamp and said, yeah, but what if Swayze was a tree? And then made it happen. Because he could. Because it was already his story in the first place. So what did we learn? If you're ever sent on an undercover mission and start catching feelings for the enemy, just know, you're either about to betray your employer, fall in love with someone way cooler than you, or permanently join a rebellion against your own people. Possibly all three. Also, if someone hands you a surfboard or a glowing alien ponytail, you're probably about to get emotionally wrecked. Alright, if your brain just had a moment and your third eye popped open like a car trunk, you know what to do. Smash that like button like you're jumping out of a plane without a chute. Subscribe so you don't miss the next time we ruin movies you love. And share this with someone who thinks Avatar is original. It's just Point Break with trees and Bluetooth. This has been Mind Bang. Keep questioning reality. Keep your ponytails spiritual. And remember, Keanu and Swayze are eternal.